Lisa, the girls are on your ass, and it looks like you can't take it. Let's break it all down in today's recap.
But I'll be on it always, always and ever.
Hey queens, welcome back to my queen cave. I'm Shelby, queen of the queen cave, and in here I drop recaps and reviews of my favorite TV shows and movies, commentary on any topic I find interesting, and deep dives into Black history and Black culture. If that is your vibe, hit the subscribe. You already know the deal. Today, we are recapping The Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, Season 6, Episode 6, Out of Gas. So we start with Angie and Heather. They're coming downstairs for their morning coffee, and they hop on FaceTime with each other. The first topic they talk about is Mary, and Angie expresses how upset she was after leaving the lunch, and how Mary stormed off and told her they weren't friends anymore, basically. And she's really anxious to sit down and talk with her, acknowledging it'll probably be a difficult conversation because of how sensitive Mary is. So we will get into that later on in the episode. I still don't understand why Mary was making this such a big deal. Like, it's not like Angie didn't say anything that wasn't true. Like, you have gone back to being more a friendly type with Lisa after all the things she's said about you over these last few years. So it's not like Angie lied on you, Mary. I'm kind of confused what the real problem is. We now get onto the Lisa topic of it all. And Angie is really just reflecting on her behavior these last few episodes and how she's allowed Lisa to take her out of her character. And she's just really expressing guilt to Heather about how she's talked down on Jack's business line and the rest of the low blows she said back and forth to Lisa. But what she's also upset about is the fact that she feels guilt or remorse because of what's going on between Lisa and her, but Lisa doesn't seem to give a fuck. She seems like she's real unbothered about the whole situation. Angie's really not feeling that, and she's really confused, thinking that at one point they were really close friends. So you would think with them having this type of falling out, it would have some sort of an effect on Lisa to where she would at least show it. I feel like she only shows it as a part of a performance, quote, when she's with the other girls and she wants to make it seem like she has some remorse or she has some sort of feeling or care towards her quote friends. So I can understand where she's coming from on that end. But I'm also glad that Angie can at least have some self-awareness to the fact that she's been looking like a damn fool these last few episodes, throwing her black platinum Visa cards all over the place, and having her really understand this is really not worth sacrificing her peace over. Like, Lisa clearly is not someone you even want to build a friendship with. She doesn't even know how to be a real friend, it seems. And she also knows the kind of game she plays already. So you should already go into every group event knowing what to expect from Lisa and just keeping your boundaries at this point, because Lisa is someone that clearly does not give a damn about your feelings, and she's going to play victim every chance she gets when it comes down to taking any accountability. I think Lisa doesn't feel bad about what she's been saying and how she's been treating the rest of the girls, because she really does believe that she's above everyone in the cast. She thinks she's above the program, so she's not going to feel anything for saying bottom of the barrel ass shit, because she doesn't care about any of you guys in the first place anyway. So I'm not understanding why Angie doesn't see that clearly. That's the reason why she does not give a fuck. She does not see you guys as people that are on her level, if we're gonna be real. Heather does appreciate that Angie is being accountable for her actions, but she also says that she does not expect Lisa to be perfect. She just wants her to be open-minded when they're trying to hold her accountable as friends and stop getting on defensive and trying to be the victim every time they try to. Heather then tells Angie she announced that she planned a super yacht island girls trip to Kanoan? It's an island out there, so that should be real interesting and real fun to watch them on the super yacht. So now we get over to Bronwyn and Todd. They're going out to get some ice cream. So Bronwyn sits down. She's in a great mood. She has a smile on her face, full of enthusiasm. And she tries to make small talk with Todd, and she goes, I only got the sundae because it has the cherries. And you know I love to save my cherries for the very end. I just hate how you always take the only cherry before I have a chance to eat it. And he's over here looking nonchalant. He does not give a damn. He's over here, yeah. And literally 2 seconds later, Todd reaches over on her sundae, picks up the cherry, and eats it.
Are you serious right now, bro?
Like, are you fucking serious? She literally just got done telling your dumbass she does not like when you do that. And not only did you not listen to her, you completely bypassed everything that she said and did it anyway, and did not give a fuck when she was trying to be like, I was just telling you I don't like when you do that, and you do it anyway. And he, of course, again, doesn't have any remorse, doesn't say sorry, doesn't say nothing. He does not give a fuck. And this whole scene kind of like really pissed me off for Bronwyn, because I'm like, girl, why are you letting him just sit there and treat you like you're nothing, damn near? Like, what's going on here? This is just the first instance in this whole episode where Todd really shows his ass about how much he does not care about Bronwyn or her feelings. And I'm just thinking, like, so Bronwyn, was this the changes you were talking about Todd made after seeing all the shit people were saying about him? Is this the progress right here? Because if this is the progress and you think this is some good progress, you have more problems than you think you do. There's nothing good about how he's talking to you. And on camera, on top of that, like, Todd has zero problem treating you like shit in front of millions. And I'm just confused as to why you're not seeing this. You're not seeing how he talks to you, how he treats you like, what's the word? Like, you're an object. Like, he does not see you, in my opinion, as someone that is of value. Like, I feel like Todd talks to Bronwyn like he tolerates her. Like, yeah, you're like, she's here, I have to be here. Like, let's just get this over with. And I don't want to see her having to go through that. It was just sad seeing her sit there the entire time, try to like get something from him. And the entire time he's just, yeah. It's like, Todd, fuck you. Bronwyn then changes the topic over to Brittany's lunch. And she first asks him, did I send you the photos of my outfit? And he's like, no. And then she goes into telling him some more details about the event. And she goes, you would have been so proud of me and how I kept my composure and stayed out of the drama. And of course, again, he's, yeah. She then gives him the rundown on the Lisa and Angie drama of it all. Todd can care less. He's like, yeah, next, skip. I don't want to hear about any of that. He does not want to hear anything about the drama, and he cannot stand this group of girls. He does not understand why Bronwyn is still hanging around them, so anything to do with them, he's not interested. Bronwyn then asks Todd if she can get a high five for not being involved in the drama. Why? What the fuck are you looking for a high five for, Bronwyn? What the fuck is that? Okay. Anyway, but then Todd says, Todd looks at her and he goes, a thank you and congratulations. That's what you get. Like, Todd, okay? Are you okay? The dynamic I get between Bronwyn and Todd's relationship does not give me husband and wife. It gives father-daughter. Like, I don't know who else picks up on that. I'm just not getting from the relationship that you guys see each other as equals. Like, it's very much this. And obviously, that's because Todd makes all the money. So there's going to be a clear power imbalance in the relationship. I just feel like it's getting to the point now where Bronwyn leans so much on Todd's validation and approval, and it's almost like a codependency type. And it's weird. I don't know. It's sad to see. It's almost like she puts him on a pedestal and she needs to like cower down when it comes down to him and not really be herself. I just get a vibe that Todd is really resentful towards Bronwyn, and it just seems like that is not being reversed anytime soon, especially based off the fact that she just moved her mom in, and now Todd is responsible for all of those expenses and her dad's medical expenses, and now adding in Gwen's boyfriend. So I just feel like Todd has this overall resentment feeling towards Bronwyn, and it just gets worse by the end of the episode. So that was a whole mess. Bronwyn then talks about the issues she has with Lisa, and she asks Todd if she feels like she neutralized or made up with her too quickly. And Todd doesn't say much. He shrugs it off, doesn't even give her a response really. And in her confessional, she goes, I understand that Todd doesn't really understand or agree with my decision to be civil with Lisa, but just because he doesn't approve of it doesn't mean it's not valid. Something along those lines. And I'm just like, if that was the case, why ask him about his opinion on it at all then? Like, you should have just went with whatever you wanted to do. Like, you say that, but yet you are actively looking for his approval and looking for his validation. So make it make sense, Bronwyn. She then gets all excited to tell him about the psychic. And he tells Bronwyn he doesn't really believe in all that stuff. And she tries to get him to be open-minded for her because she clearly does. So she tells him that basically she didn't get a good report or a good reading on her parents and their health, and she's worried about it. And Todd tries to tell her I mean, it's 50-50. I think that you shouldn't believe what is coming from those people. And I agree. I think that she should consult a professional to get some more information on that and not just believe whatever this rando, who knows where he was dug up from, got this information. Like we said, all of the information that he is getting is public knowledge. Like it's on the show, or you can easily get it from the net. So I don't know why she would believe what this person says anyway. But okay, next. Bronwyn finally speaks up on the fact that Todd has been real nonchalant, real withdrawn. He doesn't really act like he wants to be there. And she starts to cry, trying to tell him like how it's making her feel. The entire time he's looking at her like, yeah, he doesn't say much. He doesn't comfort her. He doesn't give her any reassurance. He actually, get this, he starts laughing. He starts doing this laughing, snickery shit all in her face, and she's over here visibly upset. And I'm just thinking, Bronwyn, if this is not a punch in your face to let you know that this man does not give a fuck about you, I don't know what else you need. But the fact that he kept going, like she is over here continuing as he's laughing in her face, she's still telling him how she's feeling. He's still laughing. Like he's not even trying to stop. This is once again another instance where the chin checking, should have been in place because the disrespect was so real. So now Lisa is sitting in her living room. She's packing up for the girls' trip. She calls John in there to give her a few of the suitcases. As he sits down, they start talking about the psychic at Whitney's event. And Lisa tells John that the psychic told her they are on two different pages and they have issues with their communication. Right when John tries to respond or give any of his input, she cuts him off. And then in her confessional, she explains that their communication issues have been an issue ever since the very beginning of their relationship, and it's because the lines have been blurred between involving family with business. She also says she feels taken for granted sometimes because she runs the house, she runs the businesses, and she's just so tired and she doesn't feel like that's acknowledged, or John really puts time into making that known that he sees how much she's doing and how appreciative he is of that. So she feels like that part is missing. But on John's end, he doesn't really get to say much. He just goes, yep, because it sounds like you're putting all of the problems that we have on me, and you're just perfect. Everything you say and do is perfect. You're not part of the problem. It just seemed like John was real defeated in that whole conversation. He didn't say much, and you can tell that's like a main thing that Lisa does. She takes over the conversation. She doesn't allow anyone else to speak. Her opinion is the only opinion, and it's the right opinion, and she plays no part in the problems. So I don't know what else Lisa needs, but it seems like it's real clear that you are the problem, Lisa, or the main problem here. You don't know how to communicate. You don't know how to have empathy for other people. You are the victim for every situation. It just seems like you don't have any insight on how John feels about anything. He didn't get a chance to say how he felt. You didn't even seem like you gave a fuck how he felt either. It just seemed like you wanted to be the only one to say what your grievances are with him, and that's it. Like you play no part in the issues. You have no part in the disruption of your guys' communication. So that part was frustrating. And you can tell talking to Lisa is basically like talking to a brick wall. So now we're getting over to Angie's house. Mary is coming over so they can chat. Mary is already irritated off the rip, and that makes Angie real nervous. Speaking on their friendship and the issues, Angie first apologizes to Mary, but she just explains she's not going to be bullied anymore by Lisa. Mary cuts her off and tells her, you're the one that's becoming a bully. And she's telling her she doesn't understand why she's allowing Lisa to bring her out of her character so much to the point where now it's affecting their friendship. And she was real hurt how Angie started taking her anger and frustration out on her when she was just trying to be there as a friend to calm her down. Angie tries to defend herself, saying that she wasn't trying to be a bully to Lisa. She was just responding to the energy she kept coming at her with all the low blows consistently until she finally responded. And Mary just tells her she can really see how much Angie has changed doing the back and forth with Lisa, and she's really not here for it. She's trying to hold Angie accountable, telling her that she's above all the back and forth bullshit, and she really wants her to change because because she's not trying to be around someone that continuously is confrontational and gets out of character like that. She says that it's a trigger for her. So she's trying to get Angie out of that space so they can preserve their friendship. I can understand why Mary would get upset that Angie was taking her anger out on her, because she was not trying to do anything but calm her down as a friend. Again, I didn't think it was as drastic for her to be telling her off and in her face telling her, oh, we're not sisters anymore, X, Y, and Z. I thought that was a little bit extra, but I can validate, or I guess I can understand where she's coming from getting upset initially. Mary is holding Angie accountable in that way, and she's doing it in the way of like how a friend would give you tough love, but still in a respectful way. Like, she didn't yell at her, she didn't call her out of her name, none of that. She was just letting her know about her, telling her the different ways that she's getting off course and trying to have her get back to a place of peace. So I thought that was good and healthy for their friendship, and I was glad that they were able to hug it out at the end. We then get onto the topic that Mary brings up about how Angie was making fun of her the other day because she kept farting. So they had a flashback of a few days ago, and it was Angie, Bronwyn, and Mary at Angie's house, and Mary just kept farting all over the place, all in the kitchen, all by the food, just freely blowing up gas, and just kept talking about oh, I'm just so gassy, I don't know why I'm so gassy. And it's just like, first of all, girl, ew. That's nasty as fuck. You just over here letting it loose, setting off atomic bombs wherever you want, and not going to the bathroom, going outside, excusing yourself, anything. Like, that's rude as fuck if you want to be so for real. And then two, Angie's trying to make light of it because, as we said, it's nasty. And it should be embarrassing to most people, but you normalize it for some reason. It's normal for you. So you don't have any shame, and that's on you, fine, no problem. But you're mad now because we're trying to make light of this situation. We're trying to make a small little joke about it. You're that upset? She said that Angie hurt her feelings and she was being mean and kept talking about it. I'm like, because you kept doing it. What else is someone supposed to do when you are continuously letting out gas freely all over their home, mind you? And you don't apologize, you don't nothing. You're just, I don't know why I'm so gassy. Oops, sorry. Oop, like, I'm sorry. We're either gonna look at you and get pissed off because you're continuing to put your gas all around the area and not leaving the area to go, excuse yourself type of thing. Or we're gonna make light of it and make a small little joke so we can laugh. Because either way, this shit is so weird. I don't know why you don't see it as such. And it's like, that stuff right there makes you feel like you have to walk around on eggshells with Mary. Like, you can't just freely be yourself. You have to sit over here and like think, oh, is she gonna be mad about that? Can we joke about that? Can we talk about that? Is she gonna get upset? Just go. If we can't be friends for real and you're gonna be upset and sensitive over everything, let's just have you stay at home. We'll call you on the phone, yeah, and just give you a 411 and be done. Next. Okay, so this scene gets so good. So Heather and Lisa meet up to go shop, and Heather finally can get some flowers for something. So the topic of the super yacht trip comes up, and Lisa is asking Heather if she's able to bring her glam squad, and Heather tells her no, she can't. She then jokes around about how Angie can just do her hair for her, and Lisa goes, oh no, absolutely not. I wouldn't trust her for shit. And that leads Lisa to throw some shade, saying that Angie probably never has been on a yacht, so she can't wait until she can see her there for her first time. And Heather goes, see, that right there is the shade we're talking about, and that's where the problem starts. Lisa then says she's done being attacked by Angie, and she feels like Angie gets a high off of coming at her. And Heather disagrees with her, but she's also real confused as to why Lisa is playing the victim as if she didn't start the low blow shit in the first place. Heather tells her that she doesn't think that Angie gets a high or feels good about coming at her, and saying that she was actually real upset about the whole thing that happened at the lunch. And Lisa goes, upset about what? About being a mean bitch? And I was like, what? Like, Lisa, you just keep on egging it on every single time. Lisa is really asking Heather, like, what did I do wrong? She started the low blows when she was first talking about Jack's business. And Heather does acknowledge what she said about his business was wrong, but she's also calling Lisa out for being a hypocrite, telling her all the low blows that she went back and forth with Angie about. And then, for example, she brings up the soup man. And we find out it was never soup man, it was suit man. And then Lisa admits that she only made that up because Angie said that Lisa was cheating on John. So now it's just like, oh, so you're just making up shit. And now we know from your own mouth, you'll be starting rumors. Oh my, see? Aha! Got you. You admitted it, Lisa. You said that you made it up only because of what Angie said? Wow. Lisa then insists that she does not do any low blow digs at Angie. She's the only one that does them. And Heather is just so stunned that she is refusing to take any accountability.
Wait a damn minute. Wait a damn.
Heather then clocks Lisa and she goes, the girls don't ride hard for you because they've been burned by you so many times before, and the way that you treated them, they're just not rocking with you anymore. And Lisa really gets upset. She starts crying. She puts her sunglasses on so we can't see her crying, and she gets all defensive. And I'm like, what's going on? Like, this is exactly what the truth is, Lisa. You've talked shit about everybody in the group. You've tried to dig up dirt on everyone in the group. All of this shit, and you're surprised now to hear that they don't like you, they don't ride for you, they're not on your side, and you're upset about that? Pause. The same girls you said you were above and better than? Oh, okay. And in her confessional, Lisa is actually mad that Heather is calling her out and trying to hold her accountable. And she makes this shady comment to Heather about something about like, I'm the one that gave you a book title, X, Y, and Z. And now she's just over here all upset at Heather. And I think that she's mad that Heather is calling her out specifically because she put Heather on the bottom of the totem pole. In her mind, Heather was nowhere near her level. She could not touch her. But now that they're somewhat cool, I think that she's more thrown off at the fact that Heather, who in the past never had any balls, would never call you out, none of that. Now, not only is she calling you out, she's doing it and trying to have all the rest of the girls do the same thing, essentially in her mind, ganging up on her. So now she's over here like trying to throw these shady comments at Heather, but she's just more surprised that Heather has finally grown some balls. Heather is still trying to hold Lisa accountable, and Lisa does more low blows, shady digs at Angie, talking about I can count her money, it'll be easy. And I'm like, again, more talking about people that you wouldn't want to be talking about you, Lisa. Like, why are we talking about Angie's money? Why? Weren't you so up in flames when anyone mentioned anything about your dwindling money? Heather then makes it known and clear to Lisa as much as she can that she's not trying to come at her or attack her or make her feel like she's a villain or anything. She's just trying to be there as a friend to have her be accountable and at least admit when she's wrong so they can start making the pathway and the progress to moving on and moving forward. But then she also tells Lisa, you're a risky ass friend. And Lisa gets mad about that. She gets all offended, and now Heather is left in the balance like, I don't really know where we stand here. So now we get over to Britney. For whatever reason, why would we have her on here? We don't fucking know. But she's meeting up with her daughter, and immediately off rip, it's awkward as fuck. They have like this weird ass hug, like, are we supposed to hug? Are we gonna hug? Do I want to hug you? Anyway, and then they sit down. Britney tries to like start up a conversation talking about this memory when her daughter was 4 years old, saying how she was throwing a tantrum about not being able to get coffee. And she's like, do you remember that? And the daughter is like, no, I was 4. And she was like, you don't remember? Like, no, she was 4, Britney. Next. Like, why are you trying to have her remember this when you know she doesn't? You just want to have something to say because you know this is awkward as fuck. So now we get on the topic of Britney being a deadbeat mom. And Britney explains that after she divorced her daughter's father, she felt the need to make this perfect family type of household, so she ran off to go get married again. But after she got married, that's when she started the cycle of putting her daughters on the back burner and trying to chase after these men, her husband at the time, X, Y, and Z. And she explains, get this, she explains that she thought if she were to get to the point where she could be a good enough wife, then she'd be able to be a good mom. Something along the lines of that stupid thought process. I was thinking like, okay, let's get this straight. You're trying to equate being a good wife to your husband to you being able to be a good mom, or you being able to have access, or something along the lines. It's like, what the fuck does that have to do with anything? If anything, the man that you're over here doing all this extra for at the time wasn't even your daughter's father, for one. So you're putting your flesh and blood, your daughters, on the back burner for this man. What? And then you say you prioritize being a wife over being a mom because in your mind, you felt like being a good wife would then somehow translate or give you the access to being a good mom? What the fuck does that mean, Brittany? She's a fucking dodo. Like, I'm being so serious. There's something wrong with her. Like, what kind of thought process is that as a mom? In her confessional, her daughter explains up until around like age 13, Brittany was really a good mom. She was involved in every single thing that they had, and she was so fun. They had a close-knit relationship up until she got with that second husband, and that started the cycle of her just being distant and not being involved in the girl's life and just putting them on the back burner. And she just explains how that has really affected her over the years, and the fact that she's really had to lean so much more on her dad because her mom wasn't there. She just really wants Brittany to take accountability of her actions and actually want to get to know her and actually want to rebuild this relationship with her. She also tells us that the last time they tried to meet up and have like this type of conversation, Jared was also there at the same time and they started making out right in front of her. Ew! What? Like, that's what I'm saying. Brittany is a weirdo. She's weird as fuck. What kind of mother does that? Like, that should that not make you feel uncomfortable? That should make you feel uncomfortable that you're doing all this in front of your daughter. Like, it's like Brittany is one of those moms that sees her children as her friends. Like, it's literally like can be equated to like a Regina George and her mom. Like, there's no respect, there's no boundaries, there's no I'm the mom, you're the daughter, we have that, like, there's no nothing. It's we're friends, and I'm gonna treat you as such. And it's weird as fuck. And this whole time, Brittany's sitting there talking to her. She takes zero accountability, nothing. She even says, get this, she even says something along the lines of, she was caught up in chasing these men because she didn't have her kids around, like her kids didn't want to see her. I know you're not trying to put the fact that your kids stopped seeing you because you had already been putting these men over them as a reason to keep chasing after these men. Like, what the fuck are we talking about? Brittany is, there's so many other names I would love to call Brittany, but we're just not going to go there. There's no point. We're just going to say, in the nicest way possible, Brittany's dumb as fuck, and she is a deadbeat mom as fuck as well, period. Next! Alright, so now Heather and Meredith meet up at the park to chat. And Meredith tells Heather that she not only chipped her tooth yesterday, but right after that, she stubbed her toe, and now it's all smudged in. And I was like... oh. Just imagining that, like, of course, I hope Meredith's okay, but, like, that shit seems like it'd be funny. They then start talking about the conversation that Heather and Lisa had at the shop the other day. And Heather explains to Meredith that she really does care about her friendship she has with Lisa. She just doesn't want to be naive to the fact that Lisa has been moving real janky with everyone else. And she doesn't want to put it beside her that Lisa could possibly do the same thing to Heather one of these days. And she also feels like Lisa should have evolved from that behavior eons ago. So that's another reason why she's really trying to put her foot on Lisa's neck when it comes down to getting beyond this, because this just shows you're not a real friend and you're not someone that we want to trust to be around anyway. And that leads Heather to bring up the fact that she's pissed off that Meredith just swept everything under the rug after finding out that from Angie that she told Andy to dig up dirt on Meredith. And from the fact that we can see, again, Lisa has a pattern of doing that. Her just automatically not wanting to believe that Lisa would say that just because she has issues with Angie is not sitting right with Heather. She feels like she should take it, like, of course, take it with a grain of salt in one way because it's coming from someone that you are not, you don't get along with. But then again, take from the fact that you can see that this is a pattern from Lisa and at least put it in your mind that it's a possibility and not just sweep it under the rug and act like Lisa just wouldn't do this to you. And this, she apologized profusely the last time that this happened. I don't think she would do this. And Heather's like, she only apologized the last time she got caught for the hot mic moment for calling you a whore bitch slut. The entire time from that season, if you remember when she was saying all that stuff about Meredith, she only apologized and did all that because she got caught in front of millions. So now when it comes down to it, she doesn't want Meredith to be naive, thinking that Lisa would not do something like that to her again. Ultimately, Meredith chooses to believe Lisa, give her more of the benefit of the doubt until she sees some sort of proof to prove her otherwise, which I think is stupid. I think it's dumb, and it just shows Meredith, either you just don't want to go back and forth with Lisa because you know how exhausting it is, maybe because you know she will then try to dig dirt up on you and you just don't want to open that can of worms. Maybe that's why you want to sweep it under the rug so bad. But I think that it just shows a lot of the fact that you guys have this fake ass phony friendship, quote, and I'm not buying it. Next. Okay, so here's my theory. Just hear me out. I feel like the reason why Heather is trying to have everyone hold Lisa accountable, everyone should be piling on Lisa and holding her feet to the fire so bad, not because she wants Lisa to change and to be a friend. I think it's because she wants to knock Lisa out of the main spot of being the queen bee of this show. If you noticed, now that Heather has lost all this weight and she has this newfound confidence and she's grown these balls, and if you noticed, she's speaking up more. She's saying how she feels more. She's not holding her tongue. She's now like trying to say all this stuff against Lisa and I guess in a way stand up to her when she never would have before. She was always so afraid of Lisa. Now she don't give a damn. And I just feel like her wanting everyone and her getting mad at Meredith for not getting on her more and X, Y, and Z, and her just really beating it into everyone's face that Lisa needs to be held accountable. And also on top of that, with her having all these lawsuits coming out against her, and she's now burning bridges with most of the cast, I feel like Heather is trying to get Lisa out the way so she can now be the one front and center. She can now have that position that she's always waited for her entire life, being in the front, having everyone like look at her and her just feel validated, X, Y, and Z. I really feel like Heather is going on that route because this next episode, or I guess when they go on the girls trip, Heather really drills into Lisa and like lays it on her. She does not held up. She does not like tiptoe around. She's like, yeah, I'm accusing you and I'm not holding back. So I feel like I'm getting that feeling. Does anyone else, like, I know I'm kind of rambling, but do you get what I'm saying? Does anyone else see where I'm coming from? Do you not like get that vibe that Heather is like trying to do whatever she can to kind of get Lisa out the way, have everyone be against Lisa, and like for her to now take the main spot? Like, I don't know if I'm just like tripping and made that up out of nowhere, but can anyone else see where I'm coming from? Now we have Angie and Mary meeting up at Whitney's house, and they are filling out their preference sheets for the girls trip. I guess Heather gave them all preference sheets of what they want specifically for the trip, so I thought that was real nice. But Whitney lays down a bomb and she tells the girls that Bronwyn has had some type of allegation come out about her past being a identity thief, grand theft, felonies, it says. Yeah. And I was like, huh? Bronwyn, care to explain? Because I was caught off guard completely. Grand theft, identity theft, fraud. Oh no. Like, I would love to hear more about that. And we see in the next scene, Todd and Bronwyn are at a restaurant, and Bronwyn, like, brushes past the topic real quick. She says that she basically admits to being a part of this, but doesn't say much because she says that the case was dismissed, it was sealed, and she can't really talk more about it. So I'm just like, oh, is this a confession? You were a part of those fraudulent schemes? Oh my gosh, this is embarrassing. And now she's over here like, Todd, I understand how this can be, embarrassing for you and your company because my name's attached to you and X, Y, and Z. So they acknowledge that. But then she gets onto a text message that Todd sent her telling her he doesn't think that she should go on the girls trip. He just doesn't understand why Bronwyn wants to keep being around Lisa, who has lied on him, Bronwyn, and Gwen. And then Todd says he would not pee on Lisa if her brain was on fire.
Damn!
What? Oh my gosh, I've never heard of that one before, ever. Her brain was on fire. Todd hates Lisa. Bronwyn even speculates that Lisa could have been behind getting those headlines out. And I was like, I don't think you should automatically assume it was Lisa. I mean, obviously, because of her track record, it could be, I guess it makes a little bit of sense from her perspective to assume she could have something to do with it. But I think that this is something that would be so low, like probably the lowest that Lisa could go, to the fact where now all of this stuff is being blasted on headlines. Like, I don't know. Like, if this is true, that would be a new low for Lisa. But anyway, that is going to be the end of the episode. I thought this one was getting real juicy because the next one is going to be even better. We're going to get all of the deets on Heather getting on Lisa's ass, and I cannot wait. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. As always, if you did like this video, go ahead and hit the like and subscribe button. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!